In my psychology course for this semester, I have to do a final project on my favorite thing that inspired me throughout this semester. Naturally, I decided to do my favorite theorist in the book, which is Karen Horney. She believed that the early years of childhood were important for shaping adult personality, and that social relationships between children and their parents were a key role in that development. The extent to which parents successfully provide the quote safety need, or the child's need for security and freedom of fear, contributes heavily to the extent one uses self-protective mechanisms to defend against basic anxiety. These mechanisms include securing affection with the thoughts that if someone loves me, then they won't hurt me. Submission, which involves either complying with the wishes of one or everyone in a social group in fear of being alone. Attaining power over others to compensate for helplessness and achieve security through success and through a sense of superiority. And withdraw, when someone tries to withdraw, not only from people physically, but psychologically. Their attempts is to become totally independent from others and not relying on anyone for satisfaction of external or internal needs. These mechanisms will contribute to permanent parts of our personality, defined as neurotic needs. These become the irrational ways that we solve our problems. Certain neurotic needs leads us towards certain neurotic trends that further specify one's personality, including compliant personality, aggressive personality, and detached personality. This is the foundation of Karen's personality theory. She is also one of the founders of feminine psychology, which focuses on the political, economic, and social issues that pervasively confront women every day. And on top of that, she is the only female psychologist that has a whole chapter dedicated to her in the textbook. She famously contradicted Sigmund Freud's psychiatric theory, arguing that it is male-dominated and therefore harbored bias. I think that a similar conclusion can be made on the overall tone with this textbook. The overall lack of diversity as presented in this supposedly diverse theorist textbook weighs too heavily in the old white man dynamic. At the very least, there should be more than one chapter on feminist psychology, emphasizing the importance and impact that females and other diverse people in general have had on the psychology of personality and psychology in general. Another part of the text that I was less than impressed with was how the adjectives they used to describe Karen's childhood. In the chapters before and after, they go in depth about the theorist's past and their upbringing and how it might have had an influence on their psychology theory at the end. In her childhood introduction, I noticed that the word attraction was used more often than I saw in others. For instance, Karen's envy towards her brother was attributed to him being charming and attractive. I have issue with this because I think that the word attractive is just so subjective, and the fact that it's brought up so abruptly and so quickly in her chapter just is almost misogynistic in itself. They also go into detail about how Karen Horney spent a lot of her life trying to find love because of the lack of love that she felt when she was a child. I do think it's important to look at the childhood when looking at a theory because it helps identify where it derived from. The one thing that I think that the book only glazed over is the discrimination that she most definitely felt throughout her entire career and life. She is a strong woman in an oppressed age, and her last name is Horney. That is so impressive and strong in and of itself. I find Karen Horney's story to be inspiring. She has overcome a lot of oppression and aided in the development of equality among gender. And I hope to be a role model for future generations, similar to how she is to me. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed and will think twice about the contents that are in a textbook and try to make it more inclusive the next time you make a textbook.